Hello and welcome to WP Living. In this video, I want to review a premium WordPress theme called Bimber, and I'm on the sales page on themeforest.net, the premium WordPress theme marketplace for the Bimber theme. And as you can see, it's currently being sold at $49. It was developed by a company called Bring the Pixel. They are an elite author on ThemeForest, meaning they have sold a lot of themes. Currently, this theme has sold 512 items. There are 268 comments. The buyer rating out of 37 ratings is 5-star, which is pretty damn good, I would say. Why am I reviewing this theme? Well, the main reason is because I'm actually using it for my theme for WP Living, and there it is in action on my website. I've been using it for the past month, so I thought I'd share some of my experience with you. All right, so here's how this review is gonna go down. 4 parts. Part 1, feature overview. Part 2, design and functionality. Part 3, installation and usage. Part 4, pros and cons. So I'm going to start by reading the sales pitch, the blurb for this theme, and then pick up some of the key specs. I always think it's a good idea to look at that first, get some insight into the developer's intentions behind the theme. All right, so here goes the blurb. Bimber is a viral magazine theme that lets you launch a fully functional buzz-like site in no more than 24 hours. It comes with powerful sharing buttons, hot, popular, trending listings, and multiple ad locations. Everything in a lightweight and easy-to-use package. Just browse the web, pick what's hot, embed on your site, and let it spread virally. There's one point I want to pick up on here. Bimber is being pitched as a fully functional buzz-like website. What does that mean? Well, you'll see when we launch the demo that Bimber is in fact heavily inspired by the popular viral content website BuzzFeed. If you don't know what BuzzFeed is, where have you been, man? It's one of the biggest viral sites on the internet, and what it does best is allow the content to be shared socially through Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, etc., etc. Okay, so Bimber is inspired by that website and tries to incorporate some of that key functionality. We'll look at that in the next section. Just a couple more points and then I'll move on, but the main selling points for this theme are its viral content optimization, including things that I like quite a bit here: share count, view count, comment count. Those are the little counters of how many times your content has been shared or viewed or commented on. Normally on default WordPress themes, you just get the comment count, right? But this theme integrates share count and view count, and you can also set the threshold at which you want those counters to be shown, or you can delete them altogether and not have them at all. It's up to you. But that's a really cool way of creating a little bit more buzz around some content. When you see that an item is really popular, it kind of, I don't know, it works. It sucks you in, right? Okay. Powerful sharing, social sharing buttons. As I've just said, that's the whole idea around viral content, is, allowing the content, enabling the content to be easily shared socially, and Bimber does that well using the Mash Share plugin. Ads, there are a lot of ad sections on this theme. I don't use them personally, but if you have a lot of traffic and you want to put ads around your content, Bimber does it well. It integrates mailing lists, including the MailChimp mailing list, and it's got a nice widget for the MailChimp WordPress plugin. We'll see that in a minute. Finally, key features: 100% responsive. That is true. I've tried it on my iPhone 5. I've tried it on my Microsoft Surface. I've tried it also on an iMac 27-inch and on a MacBook Air. On all those platforms, it works fantastically. Some themes, most themes today are responsive, but some, only a few, really perform well on different form factors. And I think Bimber does a good job in that sense. Other things: SEO optimized. It works with SEO plugins, including the very popular Yoast WordPress plugin, the SEO content optimization plugin. Yoast sounds like toast with a Y. If you don't use Yoast, Go check it out now. It's a great plugin, etc., etc., etc. Let's stop there. I'll leave you to check out the rest of the specs. Okay, so part 2, design and functionality. First of all, in terms of design and aesthetics, what you're looking at here is the default setup for the theme. In fact, when you install the theme, you can basically download all this dummy content and replicate this demo exactly as it looks right here. The same color scheme, same content, and so on. So I recommend doing that if you're starting from zero. Of course, if you already have a website and you're switching themes, then you're not going to do that. But in terms of aesthetics, using this default setup as they've got it, including their own logo here, what to say about this? It's not my taste, it's not what I wanted for WP Living, but I think it does a good job of showing you what this theme can do as a type of viral content theme. I never wanted to use the theme as a so-called viral content theme. I just like the layout, I like the clear presentation of content, and I like the way the share buttons were integrated, and I like some of the functionality with the mailing list, and I'll get to that in a minute. But if you look at the default settings, aesthetically, very vibrant, very clear, kind of big impact, big punch. And that's what Bimber does right off the bat. That's what it's aimed to do. What I've done with WP Living is toned it down. It's no longer a viral kind of theme. It doesn't have that in-your-face look. I've made it more into sort of a tech kind of feel, and because my content is mostly about WordPress. But you can go all out viral style. You can tone it down. You can do whatever you like with it. And I like that a lot about this theme. You can play with it. It's quite easy to customize. And that's one of the key points. But the aesthetics of the default one are very loud, vibrant, nice use of white space. I like that quite a lot. Here, you can see there's an ad section here. The ad's not showing up, but that's a space for some ads. The content is very visual, a lot of emphasis on images, but it's well spaced out. It's easy to, come to terms with, get to grips with when you land on the page, the front page. And I think it's, it just it replicates that Buzz feel very well. And if we compare it again with BuzzFeed, you'll see the similarities, the title, the icons, the current or popular posts at the top, got the same kind of carousel thing going on here. Share buttons, search buttons, trending pages, hot, popular, very nicely done. The animations on the links are very fluid, very, very compelling. And I just think visually it really does pack a punch. The demo is really nicely done, by the way. They've been very clever in choosing this content. I like the way the sidebar, you can have latest stories in this 3-panel section. That's an option, by the way, in the customization settings. You can have it as a single post like I do right here. You can have it as 3 posts together here. You could take away this top bar, which I've done on WP Living. Or you can have it only on the front page or on single pages. And then you can organize the main content like this in grid form or as a single stream like a traditional blog. And then you can have no sidebar, or you can have a sidebar. And here you can see the MailChimp integration here, the nice big bold call to subscribe, which is here in the sidebar, but also at the bottom in the footer, and also on single pages. If we check out a single post, you can see right at the bottom of the post, again, want more stuff like this, very, visual, very loud, attracts your attention. The single post, what really works well for me in terms of functionality is, as I said before, the share buttons. They're very, very visual. You can have them at the top, so that when you scroll through, they follow you, or you can disable that too. At the moment, you can see that they're showing the share count here, the view count, and the comment count. They're all visible. You can share to different sites. At the moment, they've selected Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Google plus and email, but you can manipulate those different share buttons. The images also have sharing capabilities, so each image comes up like this. You can share that. For example, a GIF. If someone wants to share it on Twitter, they can share just this GIF. That's another key element of the viral thing. And this post basically shows you how embedding works from different websites and stuff like that. And then at the bottom you can see you might also like sections, so more content right here at the bottom. You can disable this if you want. You can have one of them. You can pull up content from a single category. All sorts of options there. And finally, the comment thread at the bottom, and then even more content if you want after that. For WP Living, I've kind of eliminated those extra content parts. I've just kept one. I thought 3 of them was overkill. But yeah, if you look at the bottom of WP Living of a post, yeah, I've got you may also like here other content, but that's it for me. And then the comment section. Okay. So design-wise, quite simple. Full-on image, focuses on images, on impact, and that's the whole point of the theme. Functionality, there's a lot of sharing functionality, which I really like. I like the integration with MailChimp, the Facebook widget integration is cool. I like the possibility of having this carousel at the top. I also like the idea that you can actually remove all of these things, so it's modular, and that's really cool. So you can really strip this theme down to some real basic functionality, and that's really nice. And if it didn't have that, if you had to have everything, I wouldn't have gone with the theme. Okay, so that's a very quick look at some of the design features and the functionality features. Let's move on to part 3, which is installation and usage. I'm going to actually show you how to install the theme on my test site and how to use it.